It's crowning. I can feel the head. I've done this before. I think. We can probably sand it down a bit. Can't you sand that down? It's Tom's face.
Yeah, dude. Go for it.
You just like...
Tell me, is it whack up in the air? Rappers scattered off the gear. I can map him, get the ears like a tracker. Get distracted, send him back like in the mail. Not a fraction of them real. Catch him lacking, run the drill. Running through the shit like a motherfucking dage.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on Nolland Industries. This one's gonna be super exciting. The pool is blue again after all that rain and like when I made it green and shit. If you've been keeping up with my Instagram, then yeah, you know what's been going on with the pool. But it's blue now and I'm super happy. We can actually swim in it again, but it is getting cold. Anyway, if you're interested in stuff other than cars, definitely check out my Instagram. It's just James Nolland, search it up. And yeah, check all that good stuff out, follow me. But let's get back into the YouTube. Tom's just got to the shed. This is gonna be exciting. We're tearing down the RB25 block and having a look inside. Hopefully there's no damage. He's done it a couple of times before, so yeah, he's an expert. I knew Tom was here because I could hear the rumble from the cammed freaking VTEC engine in Zach's Civic, the mighty. It's actually a 9-second sleeper, you just don't even know. Hey guys. Hi. And we got the GTR in here. The RB26.
Yeah, RB26.
Woo. Exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't see those before.
Fresh,
damn.
Fresh.
Fresh. No one has those brand new. Look at that. Was it worth it? Yeah. Oh, sweet. So, yeah, that's good. As long as I don't break. So this is the mighty RB25 block here. And the objective is to take the sump off, take the pistons out, and hope that it's just something like the ring's worn out.
Not major.
Not major, yeah. Nothing broken.
See.
I just opened this, had a look, and I was like, oh yeah. It's not like the LS when I pulled it apart, so that's good.
Definitely good.
Yeah. Oi, but look at the head, like the valves on there. What do you reckon about that?
Oh yeah. Looks pretty normal.
Why is it one of them white?
That's not normal. Got corrosion in your water gallery.
Yeah, no good?
Definitely not good.
No, that is not good.
Sick. It's pretty close.
That's gone past where the seal ring is for the...
Yeah.
And that is water.
It is, isn't it?
So...
Is that a new head?
It looks like it.
Oh, see? This way you get the experts in.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Oh, sick.
It'll have to go to a machine shop, but it depends how bad that corrosion is.
See what they can do about it, eh?
Because it's corroded on the back half of that as well. So it's already eaten through most of the way.
Yeah, right.
So they could always repair it, but it's how far does the corrosion go?
Yeah, right.
And you don't know how long it's been like that.
Yeah, it could have been like that for a long time.
The whole reason you put the coolant in, like, it gives you a little bit of extra leniency with temperature.
Yeah.
So it keeps things cooler, hence the name. But it's mainly a corrosion inhibitor. So it stops that.
Yeah, right. So someone else may have run just water off.
And a lot of the time they do on these things, it's like, oh, it'll be fine, it's an RB.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
But that's definitely...
That's pretty bad now that you point that out.
What cylinder was low on
Quite
compression?
bad. 6. I guess I'll just take it down to the engine shop and say, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah. Before you take anything else, I'd take that down and just say, look, this is what's happened. Is this salvageable?
Yeah, okay. That's good. Oh, well, I'm not... Yeah, okay. Let's go into this one.
Yeah. I hope that nothing's wrong with this. It's a good and a bad thing because the heads are pretty cheap. The blocks are expensive.
Oh, right. But there, yeah. That we did that noise at the same time. What the heck?
You take out too much.
That was whack. That's so
that would
close.
have been the water in the cylinder if there was any. Well, I mean, they would have had to have been.
Alright, so first up, we're going to take the sump off and have a look in there. If you guys want to see like a proper in-depth educational video about this process, definitely watch Tom's. Like, his opening intro was like so much more in depth and like he actually knows what he's talking about, and I'm just like pointing and shit.
Pretend to know what I'm talking about.
No, he knows. He knows, and then he pretends he knows he doesn't know, you know? But check his channel out because you're really gonna learn something on his one. This one, nah, you will. This one's just entertaining, just so you can see what's involved. Why did the focus just go nuts?
It's just a G7x doing its thing. They're good for that. They focus really well when you need them to.
Yeah. All right, we're back. Oh, no, I'm gone. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, so check out his channel if you want to see actual, like, proper shit. And this will just be like some sort of time lapse with entertainment of us just talking shit. Let's go. So the trusty sump opener strikes again. Probably get about 3 more sumps off with this beast. It's actually just a scribe for, or like a right angle tool, so you can scribe a right angle, any angle. But also a sump opener. We're selling these on the website, jamesnolland.com, $5. I've done this before.
That's true.
Actually, qualified. There she goes.
It's really rare that you'll have a ring land on every piston.
This one's good.
Not a you should, that's a me too. Just to clarify. Go down a bit. Should be able to pull that off. Just bearing decided to chill. Oh, slip right through that one. Yep. Crack.
Crack, crack.
Oh, that's bad.
3 cracks in that one. And there's a crack down there as well.
That's majorly fucked me in. Oh,
We can probably sand it down a bit. Can't you sand that down? It's Tom's face.
yeah, dude. Go for it.
You just like... Move, finish.
So that one will not be good to go again.
No?
No. That's saying some shit.
It's saying some shit.
Like that
was probably the low compression one. I think it was.
Crack ring land will always give you low compression, so I've put a lot of pistons out and I've never seen one crack on our second ring land, so that's a new one.
That's good.
Cracking on the top ring land, it's also cracked on that second ring land down there, which I've never seen before. So these pistons have seen some shit. So that's only number 3. We've had 2 pistons now that have been like that. That one was a lot worse.
Not there yet. That's still alright. And then you got that piece there.
It's definitely broken off at that other side.
Don't know if you see, there's that one, and then you got this one here as well.
Wow.
And that. She's like an earthquake.
Proper toast.
Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some. Oh, it's coming. Yeah, that's him. Okay. What about this one?
This will be so cool to do on a live stream.
Oh, really?
Nightmare to pull off.
What do you use?
Usually they aren't. I've never had to pull one off without just my fingers, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a finger trick one. That doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's not good. You're going to have to get your puller.
Yeah.
Just go...
You know what's funny as, with the harmonic balancer puller? I forgot to put the little thing in the end. Like, you know how you guys used it and it got minced?
Yeah.
The thread, and it won't come back off? I just did the exact same thing. Like, Dad fixed it in the lathe. He, like, shimmed it.
He did the exact
and I did the exact same thing. There's a little piece that pops in the end, which spaces it back a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Funny as. It's sitting up there. So just a little update. We just got to get this bloody doodad off here, which Tom tried to finger and didn't work. But that will come off, and then I think the crank's coming out next. But like, look how cool is this stuff. It's all like so shiny. I don't know if you're meant to touch it. But over here, just to recap on that. So the first piston, completely cooked. You got your ring lands that is cracked, and a piece of it has come out. No good. Second one was okay. Third one was the worst one ever. There's a crack there. There's three cracks in this bottom section, and there's another 2 cracks in the top section there. So these 2 pistons can pretty much go in the bin. And when I got the R32, I actually got a spare RB25 engine that's sitting over here that has damage to it. That's why it's just sitting here. The head, like the valves underneath, are absolutely cooked. I'll just see if I can show you. Try not to lose it. But yeah, you can see right there, something's been bouncing around in there and cooked that. But there is pistons in a bag there. So hopefully I have enough pistons. I can just take everything into the machine shop and just say, hey, can you check over all these? And hopefully I have 6 good ones. Or, Tom just suggested as well, if worst comes to worst, there is an RB30 block sitting over there on an engine stand that we could use as well. But that is supposed to go in the R32, so I don't know. We'll see what happens at the machine shop, because I'll check over all this and go from there. But next is the crank to come out. Oil pump.
You look at that, something too bad. You're like, oh, wow.
Alrighty, so that's a wrap. We're down to like the bare block here, which I've never seen before, and it's all looking pretty basic. Not much left in there. We got the crank out, sitting on the floor here. One good thing about this engine is all the bearings were in pretty good condition. I just washed my hands, so I don't really want to get dirty again, but they're in pretty good condition. And the only thing on the crank is the number one issue with RB25s, and most of the RBs I'm pretty sure, this flat section here is what connects to the oil pump, and the surface area on here is like super small, but the oil pump surface is like this wide, so it's kind of a defect, and they didn't fix it. So a lot of the time people like Tom will take their crank to the shop and they put a collar on here and then screw it in so that it has a bigger surface area, so that your oil pump can actually grab onto the gear and it won't slip or damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's bang on.
That's bang on?
Yeah.
Okay, see? Tom's teaching me.
Passed your lesson for today.
Passed? Alright,
Yeah.
cool. So that's a story about that part. And then with your pistons, I've got 2 that are absolutely cooked. I actually showed them before. The ringlets are cracked, and that's the issue when you have cast pistons. It's always going to crack ringlets at some stage. Tom's trying to convince me to do forged pistons, which, like, he had some valid points, and I'm the kind of guy that likes to reuse shit because of Dad, and yeah, I don't know, I'm in mixed emotions on what I'm going to do, because the head is most likely stuffed with that oil corrosion, water corrosion, and that's probably going to be expensive to get that fixed if they can fix it. If they can't, then I'll need a new one, which is, if I do need a new one, it's better off just to buy a whole second-hand RB25 engine and send that and hope for the best.
Just chuck it in.
Just chuck it in, yeah. There's a few options here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not surprised, like this engine has been thrashed. And it did confirm, like I got this engine unknown 6 years ago from a guy. It was just sitting in his shed, and at the time they were cheap as chips, they're like $1,000. And yeah, so it was unknown. It was out of a drift car, and he said it's unopened, which means it's never been touched from factory. And that's been confirmed when we pulled this down. It had the stock head bolts, had the stock head gasket, which was crazy. And everyone always says do your head bolts and gasket on the RB25 because they're the main things you need to do, apparently. The only thing that was done on this was sump had come off, probably to be inspected, and then they've sealed it back on there. Everything else is stock. So this has done 6 years of absolutely thrashed on 500 horsepower, 19 PSI, and then just recently I changed that turbo and dropped it down to 469 horsepower with 20 PSI. But also most of its life has been on 98 as well. Like, yeah. So it only went to E85 like maybe 2 years ago, and so let's say 2 years of E85 and 4 years of 98, which is even more impressive.
That is very impressive.
That is pretty impressive, yeah.
I didn't know that.
On a shit ECU, an old ass Heltec. Yeah. If you want to do some research on some old ECUs, or if you've heard of them, it was an E11 V2, which is like the oldest freaking ECU, and it was running like absolute shit. It literally uses less fuel on E85 now with a better ECU than on 98 with a shit ECU.
I get that.
Yeah.
I've had, with my old ECU,
yeah,
I got 150 k's to a tank on ethanol. I should get close to 300 on link, just by changing
yeah,
ECU.
it's crazy, yeah.
It's insane.
150? You're running a rotary in that thing.
No. That's the sad part. No, I'm not.
Shit.
It's terrible.
You might as well, eh? That's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But yeah, I'm going to clean all this up. And thanks for your help. I do appreciate it, hey.
No,
because it's hard to get, like, proper help around here, you know?
No, it's all good. Happy to help.
Well, from someone that knows.
A thing or two.
Yeah, for sure. Because otherwise I could be Googling this and then end up with, like, probably end up with that in half or something. Take the wrong bolts out.
But at least you know what you're looking at as well.
Yeah.
And you know now what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Rather than having to wait, find out what's actually the problem, you have a bit of insight before anyone else looks at it. So
yeah, for sure. 100, and that is a major thing. Like if you're taking your car to the shop with anything at all, it could be the exhaust or whatever, like have a look at it first and be familiar with the parts and know a bit about how it works so that you can't get bullshit. Because a lot of car companies will try and bullshit you into spending more money because they're a business. They want to make as much money as possible. EGR.
Oh wow. Just slipped out.
Yeah. So make sure you know like a little bit, even if you like Google it, like RB25 or whatever engine you have, Google it, have a little bit of research behind you so you can't just like walk in there and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. And if you have that approach as well, if you walk in and just be like, here's the keys, I need it done, I don't know anything about engines, they're going to be like, all right, clap their hands together, and they'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Yeah. Like legit laughing. Yeah. So
it's always good to get a second opinion as well.
Yeah.
So
get quotes.
Things like that. You can walk in and say, look, I've 2 of these pistons toast. I've found this on the head.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do about it? Because it's the other thing as well, the time thing. They know about it rather than them finding out in a week when they start looking at it like, oh, you need a head, you do this. It's like straight away they can look at that and say, you either need a head or we can fix it. Yeah. And then you just know, rather than the suspense, just like, oh, is it broken? Is it not broken? So
yeah, for sure.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So this has been my first time like tearing down an engine properly and learning about it from a professional like Tom. He's actually a qualified engine builder. Oh, yeah. And if you guys need anything done...
Sounds like this is on Wikipedia or something.
No. But it's been a great time. I had fun doing that. It's like, I knew about all the parts individually, like I've seen them for sale. That's how most of the time I see parts. But I've never seen how they all go in together. So hopefully this video showed a little bit about how it's all assembled, basically.
It is pretty fun, and it's exciting pulling apart this kind of stuff because you don't do it very often.
No.
Like,
you try not to.
you try not to. I really hope you won't have to do this again for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's something different. A lot of people don't do it anymore. So.
Yeah, you just buy a new engine.
Yeah.
But it used to be cheap to do this.
Yeah, it used to be. Back in the good old days.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna go and write down on paper my life decisions and like reconsider everything, because Tom's almost convinced me to go forged.
It's an option.
Like for the price difference, it's almost makes sense.
That's one thing you have to look at. You've got 3,000, potentially 3,500 for a motor, and then you've got 1,800, well, what it would be, about $2,500 to get everything working for a forged motor. So you've got all new internals that you know are going to be good, but then you've got to worry about the head. Even then, with the head, you're still paying what it would cost for a brand new motor.
Yeah.
You obviously have more costs there. Like I'd say, all up, a good budget to set yourself for a rebuild forged bottom end is probably about $5 or $6 grand.
Crazy.
So if you compare that to an unknown condition motor for 3.5, essentially $2,500 difference, and you know what's going back into it, and know it won't just pop in like 1,000 Ks.
Yeah. It's running the risk or doing it properly is the thing.
Depends what you want to do.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I am keeping the 180 for life,
Yeah,
so
that's the other thing.
it kind of makes sense to forge it, but I just don't have the money, so.
That's the thing, you can take it down to a machine shop and get them to look and get that other opinion and see what they find, because they might find something we've missed and be like, okay, you've got something serious to worry about.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first step.
That's probably the first step, yeah, you're right, yeah. Get it inspected.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, alright, battery's about to die. Thanks for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, like, comment on this video. What's the keyword for this one in the comments?
Ooh.
Rebuild.
Rebuild? Yeah, we're going to rebuild.
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 Ringland.
Ringland.
No,
We need to see
rebuild.
1,000 ringlands in the comments.
Yeah.
Forge it.
And then oh, that's a good one. So yeah, do all that fun stuff. Subscribe to Tom's channel for like a proper technical like breakdown of how it all went, because yeah, obviously he's an engineer and I'm just your backyard have a go guy. Have a crack, and it's been working so far. So yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Wow, I was about to do that. Peace.